all right? And if you find yourself coming down steep, you're gonna run into it. Your hands will also exit really low. So our goal is when you come back down is to feel like your hands are exiting high or finishing away from you. So if we kind of look at it from face on, it almost looks like there's lots of space in front of us rather than really close and across. Hey, welcome back to Dan for Golf. Today we're going to talk about shallowing the golf club, and I'm going to give you my 3 favorite drills that I often give my students to teach them how to shallow the golf club, because a lot of times when we try to do it ourselves, ends up being a little bit more of a struggle than what we expect, all right? Because it is a little bit more of a technical move. If you're brand new to our channel, make sure you give us a thumbs up if you enjoy our content. That way more people can see our videos. And if you haven't been a subscriber, please join us and hit that little bell button. You'll see our future videos that we have coming out. And we appreciate any comments that you might have. If you enjoy this video or you enjoy one of these drills and it helps you out, let us know down below. So when I have somebody come to the lesson tee and they're really struggling with coming over the top, hitting those big slices, and they want to learn how to shallow out the golf club, I typically, the first thing I watch when they're hitting golf balls is if they have control of the club face. All right, you can have a very nice on-plane golf swing, but you can still hit big old cuts and big old hooks, all right, if you don't have control of the club face. So before you watch this video, you might go out there and kind of test that out, right? Because with the driver, 85% of where the ball is going to finish is due to the club face. So you don't have to be perfectly on plane. You can be steep, you can be shallow. If you have really good hands and you control the club face really well, you can still hit a lot of fairways, all right? Typically, yes, it is easier to control the club face if your swing is simpler. All right, it doesn't require as many moves, but there's plenty of players that we've seen, past and present, that have very different moves than what might be considered common, but they have really good hands and they have really good control of the club face, so they're able to hit the driver really well. All right, but today we're going to talk about how to shallow it. All right, we're not going to talk about really club face or hands or a whole lot of that, just what you can do with your club and with these drills to help you out. So the first drill is going to require you to have 2 buckets. So each drill that I give you today, hopefully everybody's going to have one of these tools at the driving range. All right, so the first one is the 2 buckets. You're going to put 1 bucket on the outside. It doesn't play as big as a role as the bucket on the inside. Okay, and the way that you set it up is when you set up to the ball, kind of put the bucket so it looks like it kind of matches the shaft angle. All right, and it's going to be about a foot or so in front of you. All right, it's going to change depending if you want to put the bucket a little bit more to the right to help you really swing out to the right, you can do that. All right, the bucket on the outside will only affect those who come down and tend to throw the golf club out here. Then you're going to hit this outside bucket a lot. Okay, but our goal is to get that club to swing under, miss both buckets, swing out to the right. Now, if you do this correctly, all right, you're going to have a big draw. If you do it and the club face is square, you're just going to have basically a push. All right, so I'll go ahead and demonstrate it for you. We're going to go for a big draw, pretty straight. Not bad for the first swing. All right, I had a draw, started off right, came back left. We're in play, we hit a draw. It's going to go a little bit further. It's not always easier to control. That's why you see a lot of players on tour actually hit cuts. All right, but everybody kind of wants it to draw because everybody wants to hit it farther. All right, so that is our first drill. All right, my next drill is more of an exit drill. All right, whenever I talk about exit, is where the club kind of exit and finishes through your body. All right, so this is more of an exit drill. All you need is either like an alignment rod, and I just put a pool noodle on it just for most of my students. I don't want them to run into it and kind of possibly hurt their hands or anything like that. And it's just a good visual when it's hot pink like that for them to kind of see it. So with this exit drill, you're going to take your normal setup, right? And if you find yourself coming down steep, you're going to run into it. Your hands will also exit really low. So our goal is when you come back down is to feel like your hands are exiting high or finishing away from you. So if we kind of look at it from face on, it almost looks like there's lots of space in front of us rather than really close and across our body. All right, so that is our goal, is to feel like our hands start to exit really high. We still want our body to rotate, but our hands kind of separate from our body and kind of push away from us. Okay, so this is just how we set up the exit drill. I'll hit one in a second. You can make it different. Basically, you can open it up more or close it more depending on how extreme that you want to get it. All right, but whenever you find yourself hit it, you know you've kind of come down steep, or you might have actually been shallow, but if you pull your hands across your body and you're still hitting cuts, you'll hit the noodle oftentimes. I've had students that do that. They, on the TrackMan, everything says, oh, I'm shallow, but they keep on hitting little cuts because at the end you'll see their hands kind of just slide across the ball, pull across their body. They're not quite sure to extend out away from themselves. All right, so this is how the exit drill would look. All right, so when you set up to it, I just put it in between my feet. The harder it is if you put it further out, because then you're just really going to have to feel extended more. You put it shorter, more back, like by the right foot, it'll be a little bit easier, which kind of defeats the drill. Okay, so you just take your normal setup. You can take little practice swings, just feeling like the club exits out above it, and then you go for it. There we go, right down the middle. All right, my final drill is you just take your alignment rod or whatever and you put it in the ground, probably like 3 or 4 feet behind you. If you have a longer one, it works a little bit better because then you don't have to modify your takeaway too much. But if you have a short one, you will have to take it inside pretty quickly, which I'm not a huge fan of. You'll still have to shallow it out, which you'll see. All right, but if you have a longer alignment rod or something like that, it tends to work best. For this one, I'm going to put it just out in front of the stick. I'll show you a picture from face on real fast. And simply the whole idea is to bring it back and then drop it back underneath. If you come down steep at all, you're going to run into the alignment rod super easily. Okay, again, if you watch my videos, I always say kind of do it slowly in the beginning. All right, but again, if you have an alignment rod and you put that $1.50 noodle over it, it could protect your club a little bit just so you don't mess it up. All right, so here's just the face-on view, what it looks like. You can see where the ball house out in front. Just take that club back underneath, drop it back underneath, all right, and you'll shallow it out. Now you want to use these off and on, so let's say you hit 5 drivers with the drill, then try to do 5 drivers without the drill, all right, and see if it still sticks, okay? Don't just become so reliant on the drill that when you get on the golf course, you don't have the drill in front of you, and so you struggle, okay? That's not the intent of drills. Drills is just to basically do it a few times and then try to get it into your memory of what it feels like, and then to you perform it again, right? Just like you would do with a basketball drill, like a rebounding drill or anything like that, right? Drills are not created for that's the only thing that you do on the golf course, all right? So I'm gonna go ahead and perform this one for you, and then you can just kind of choose which one's your favorite. If you want to know a different drill, there's other ones out there, but these are the 3 most common that I tend to go with, because this one actually really fixes when the people throw the club outside or they swing their hands outside. It kind of fixes them all. Pretty much all of them do that except for that exit drill. Exit drill is just purely exit. If you do throw your hands outside with the exit, you will figure that out pretty quickly. Away it goes. I hope these help you out today, and I'll see you back here next time.